Welcome back. Today we'll discuss fun stories about spirits in an old bartender. However, it seems he has completely forgotten how to serve customers and went ahead to pour Omi a few glasses of strong with a few swigs of strong drink. Omi's self-control plummeted to zero, and he began lamenting that his wife never cared about him. She only focuses on his drinking and violent past. Even though he has changed his ways, his wife still unfairly blames him. Just as Omi finished speaking, Yujai burst down the stairs, gasping and informing him of a shocking update. She said there are others in the hotel. It sounded just like the beginning of a horror movie. And that guy actually choked their son around the neck, which made Omi sober up halfway immediately. So he nervously asked, "Where is that guy over there?" Yujai blurted out room 237. Omi recalled he just prepared a black pot for the guy and stormed off to room 237 and what he saw was a naked woman in the bathtub, which threw Omi off guard. No wonder someone called for help. He thought to himself, isn't this like a pie falling from the sky? But then he was shocked to find the woman turned into a corpse, and that snapped him completely stone cold sober. He quickly backed out of the room, and this scene was sensed by Lao Hei, who thought, this is bad news. He realized Saomamu and Yujai might be in danger and frantically called the hotel. But there was no answer. When Omi calmed down, he pretended everything was fine and returned to Yujai. He told his wife there was no one else upstairs and that their son probably just fell. But Yujai wasn't buying it. She insisted they needed to leave this creepy place ASAP. This reignited Omi's anger, who thought, I can't let this hard-earned opportunity slip away. He thought if he could get through this winter, he could provide 2 incomes for his family. If he left the hotel now, he not only wouldn't get paid, but he would also be branded untrustworthy. With that, Omi walked out of the bedroom without turning her head back, leaving Yujai in a heartbroken state. Meanwhile, Saomamu saw a vision of the future, as her mother's sobs echoed in air. A message in red appeared in the bedroom door, followed by an influx of crimson liquid flooding the whole corridor. Lao Hei sensed the same scene and finally got in touch with the hotel headquarters. He learned that the phone line was down due to heavy snow, thinking, oh no, this is bad. At that moment, Omi prepared to head back to the bar, but oddly, the hall was filled with high-class guests. However, their attire seemed decades more advanced than Omi's, making him feel like he time-traveled. Omi took out his wallet to pay, but the bartender told him someone already covered it. This made him thrilled as if he had won the lottery. Free drinks were simply too great a deal to miss. Just as he was ready to groove with the music holding his drink, a server accidentally spilled it all over him. When the two entered the restroom to wipe their clothes, the server told Omi that his name was Greedy. Omi seemed to have heard that name somewhere. Oh, the former hotel caretaker was this guy. Even though he heard that the guy had committed suicide, Omi didn't seem scared at all. He started asking if he had killed his wife and child, only to be surprisingly unconcerned by the server's response. The server said he didn't remember any of those events at all and claimed the caretaker has always been Omi. This left Omi completely baffled. What was going on? Before he could process, the server dropped a bombshell that Omi found hard to believe. He told Omi that it was a black guy named Lao Hei, to which Omi shook his head in confusion. He added that it was Omi's son who called him here using his psychic power, which struck Omi hard. The server even suggested that Omi should kill his family like he had to stay in the hotel forever. Omi felt evil thoughts being drilled into his mind, gradually losing himself. He started blaming his failures on his wife and son, growing more anxious. To prevent them from escaping, he disconnected the radio and power supply for the snowmobile. Lao Hei, miles away, was anxious to learn that no one would be sent to the hotel until spring. He quickly booked a flight to the hotel, needing to prevent any bad things from happening. Meanwhile, Yujai began to sense that something was off with Omi. She worried that Omi might do something terrible to her and her son, warning Saomamu to stay in the room. So she took a baseball bat to check on her husband, What a brave mother. But as she approached Omi's typewriter, she trembled in fear because it only contained one line. The captain named Tommy is a fool. Yujai stared at the quote, completely unable to believe her eyes. Little did she know Omi had only ever written that line. Yujai's inner anxiety and fear deepened even more. Unaware of the secrets behind it, she wanted nothing but to escape. Unfortunately, Omi quietly approached her and asked, "Do you like it?" "What are you doing here?" Yujai's mind blanked. She could only stammer. Omi pressed on, closing in slowly. Sayami sensed a strong unease, and alarm bells rang in her mind. The corridor was filled with a hang-red vibe as Omi prepared to make his move against his wife. Yujai desperately backed away while begging her husband not to hurt her. But Omi's mind had been consumed by madness. Seeing her husband about to go into a frenzy, Yujai made her decisive move, knocking Omi out. She was terrified Omi would harm her in the sun upon waking. All she could think of was locking Omi in the kitchen for now. At least that would keep her safe. Still worried, she picked up another knife for self-protection.